I'm going to bring my feet hips width apart, hold my umbrella out in front, shoulder height. Now, if you choose to use your weights, I would bring the weight like this, a light weight. Hold both arms out in front with the weights. Okay, I can only demonstrate on the one hand right now. All right, that's how you use your weight. And I'm going to bring up the umbrella, turn to the side, legs hips width apart, and here we go. You inhale, sit back into a chair, toes are lifted inside the shoes. Exhale, you come up. Notice that pelvic tuck, that slight back extension. It is exactly that, spinal extension. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, push on up. You push up from your heels to make sure you get more emphasis on your gluteals. The extensor muscles would be the gluteals, the quadriceps, the front of your thighs, and your back muscles. We lift those toes so that we strengthen the shins, and this is excellent for your knees and your balance. Hold here, lower down. Now I'm going to step closer to the camera, just hit this light and this one. And
that's so wonderful that with an umbrella, you just showed the workout. So, I mean,
look, I'm under doctor's orders. I can't hold anything more than an iPhone, the weight of an iPhone in this hand. You take an umbrella, which is only ounces, divide it by 2, and I'm there, okay? I'm a good girl. All right, so now,
no excuses.
No excuses. So now we want to focus on the back. Let me come here. All right. So what do we see typically later in life? We see a lot of this. We see hyperkyphosis. It's a postural deviation. So
they're calling that tech neck now.
They're calling it what?
Tech neck, because everybody's looking at their
oh, that's interesting. That makes total sense. Also,
we don't want tech neck.
We don't want tech neck, but we also don't want hyperkyphosis later on. All right. Now, oftentimes, what brings on hyperkyphosis is osteoporosis. So here's a medical disclaimer for osteoporosis. This exercise I'm about to demonstrate, you're going to do it straight up, not bent over, because I'm about to do a bent over bilateral row. All right, but it can be done erect. So just understand that. So I'm squatting down just a little bit, bent knee, belly button in, and I'm going to bring the umbrella out in front, and exhale, I draw it toward my chest. Now, what am I really focusing on here? Sorry, I'm not giving you my best angle, but I want you to look at the posterior shoulders. This is where we have, on the exhale, scapular retraction. See that? Drawing shoulder blades together. Now, this is what it looks like upright. Oh, Amy, I didn't do my full round on that first exercise. So I'm going to go back and show everything, but I'm going to repeat here first. All right. So this is working those back muscles and down. So I want to take you now to another round of the squats. So I want to make sure I don't forget the second round. All right. So now, arms out. I'm going to turn away from the camera because I'm telling you, Amy, I get confused. All right. And inhale, sit back into the chair. Exhale. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time. Execute it with thought so that you can build muscle memory. So when you do a movement in life and you're not thinking about it, your muscle has the memory. Exhaling, toes lifted inside the shoes. Last one. And lower down. Amy, the repetition scheme today is 8 to 15 repetitions.
Okay, so you got to do whatever you feel comfortable with. But
that's right.
I mean, I've been following along with some of the things that you're doing, and it's excellent.
Good. I'm glad, because some of this can certainly be seated and done seated as well. Okay, so here we go. Here's the row. I take my time. Notice I kind of lift the chest up toward the umbrella or the weights. But the whole point is scapular retraction. I'm going to bend over now. Notice I'm not rounding and collapsing. Belly button is up and in. Bent over, bilateral row. Last time, slowly roll it up. All right, let's take it back. Let me adjust the lights.
Yeah, I noticed that I had to really pay attention to where my elbows were on that because my elbows kept wanting to drop down.
Yeah.
So I had to really be mindful of that.
You can do it. If I had dumbbells, it would be, you could do this also, right? So if that's your body instinct, go with it, all right? Because that wouldn't be incorrect. I'm just showing you just like another way, that's all. All right, now we're gonna work on something that is sometimes a little annoying for women. And that's of course why I'm doing it, all right? Because we have to be able to work and deal with discomforts in life. So let me show you something here. When you stand with your feet together, there's an angle from the hips down toward the knees, right? I'm up at that iliac crest, down toward the knees, and that is called the Q angle. No matter how petite the female is, typically that Q angle is going to be wider than a man's because of the process of giving birth, all right? But it also challenges us because your feet are together, which means it's not a broader base of support. It challenges the balance. I do want you to take now the umbrella up and overhead for squatting. It's narrow squats. However, if you have rotator cuff muscle issues at the shoulders, if you have spinal stenosis in the cervical spine of the neck, or if you have pinched nerves, then I would take this out in front, or maybe just bring your hands to your waist to do the squat, all right? Otherwise, let's play, bring the arms up and overhead. And also, those of you who have hypertension, who have been medicated for it, you might have been told, don't do anything over your head. Ditto for you. Hands to the waist, or go back to this arm position, all right? I think we covered it all. So arms up, inhale, exhale, sit back, inhale, up. Exhale, sit back, and up. Sorry, changing the breathing. Inhale, sit back, exhale, up. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Notice I don't want to have the arms swaying around. You want to press those knees together, toes lifted inside the shoes, back extension as you come to the top. And one more. Sorry, Amy, somebody's honking their horn out there. And take it all the way up, slowly lowering the arms down, and now we come into a chest press. So it's the exact opposite area of what we just did for that, to avoid hyperkyphosis. But notice what gets all tight, all through here. The chest, the pectoralis, the front deltoid, even the tricep is involved on any of this type of chest work. So if you have your weights, again, I would go light. Amy brought up an excellent point. So you can hold the weight here and come out like this, or you can choose to do this, all right? This is just a 3-pound weight. I'm gonna bring the umbrella up to the chest, the total opposite area of what we just trained. Now, what do we use the chest for? Front shoulder and tricep is pushing. So if you're pushing your grocery cart, pushing a door open, or pushing your stroller with your beautiful grandchildren, right? This is what you want to do, is have the strength to do it, all right? So here we go. Exhale, push. Inhale, in. So the emphasis is slow on the out. So it's inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. But some people are starting training these days now with the inhale and exhale through the nose. I'm not going to fight it. There's nothing wrong with it. The studies are showing that that might be the way we're going to go anyhow. Puffing up the chest. We want to be careful of this, folks. Don't let that happen. I'm going to go for 2 more, Amy. Sorry, I neglected to turn that light off. And lower down. Okay, let's come back for the legs. Narrow squats. Like so. Overhead. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, take it up. Inhale, exhale. Toes lifted inside the shoes. Pelvic tuck at the top. Push the inner knees together. If it's impossible for you to let them touch each other, that's okay too. They don't have to fully touch. One more. Slowly lower. Chest press, also known as a bench press. We start out here. Exhale, push. Inhale in. A little bit of a diagonal for you. Puff up the chest, proud as a peacock. Slight pelvic tuck, protect your lower back. How about two more? One more. And take it down. Now, coming back here, I'm putting this down for the moment because the next exercise, Amy, this is the one that you really, when you bend down to pick up something, you want to get back up. This is more of a deadlift type movement, all right? But sometimes people will interchange deadlift and squat. So what I want to do is break down the difference between the two movements first, all right? So here's the squat, feet hips width apart. I'm just going to bring my arms out in front. Now this isn't the full out exercise yet, but if you folks want to join in, join in. The toes are lifted. Inhale, I sit back into the chair. Exhale, up. I'm going to do two more. So this is a squat, right? One more. Now here's the difference. I'm not even changing the position of my legs. I'm going to bend the knees, hold up. Anybody with osteoporosis, do not do this exercise at all. Go back to a squat. If you want another variation on a squat, you can do a sumo squat, which is a wide squat. But this is contraindicated for osteoporosis. I don't know your particular situation, all right? So here's the difference between a squat and a deadlift. The knees are bent, hands are on the thighs. It's a hinging from the hip joint. See that? And then I exhale to come up. Here's the back extension again. Inhale, I'm sliding the hands down. Exhale up. Now, what if you don't have that range of motion? You can do this. As long as you have bent knee and the pelvic tuck. Bent knee and the back extension. All right? So now I'm going to grab my umbrella. And we want to make sure for this, those of you with weights, you can go with a slightly heavier weight. So I was demonstrating with a 3. This is a 5, all right? So you would have your 5-pound dumbbells in front of you and working your exercise like so. Let me put that down. Standing with the legs hips width apart. Umbrella is set. Here we go. Then knees hinging from the hip. And my umbrella is literally grazing along my legs. Exhale up. And with those toes lifted, particularly in the deadlift, I'm telling you, the buttocks is going to talk to you. Inhale. Exhale. No collapsing of the head. Notice the chin is up. It's not sagging down. If it sags and drops down, it's going to pull and yank on your lower back, and that's going to hurt. We don't want that. One more. Take it on up. Great. Now, here is where I want you to use your Dynaband or your TheraBand. Before using it, we all need to hold the band up against your light. Make sure you're checking to see that you do not have any tiny pinprick hole because it can snap. And trust me, it's happened to me. It has snapped in my face, and that's not a lot of fun. Now, if you have a latex allergy, when you get your own band, make sure you're looking for non-latex or latex-free. Mine is latex-free. Now, how do I use this if I'm not allowed to pull on this hand, right? So this will be a good way to help people who have issues with the wrists. Let me do this for you because it's really, sorry about that. forgot to turn them off before. So I'm going to bring it around my wrist. See that? And then thread it through the thumb, because the pulling isn't going to be from the hand, it's going to be from the forearm. There you go. And then we go around this side. And I think, Amy, you have on your Amazon store, I think you have some bands.
Yeah, I gave the link just now in case anybody's interested. And they come in different weights, per se, right? Different resistance.
That's right, exactly, different colors. Okay, so my elbows are soft, right? And this is really going to target postural deviations, folks. So on the exhale, I open. It's a posterior rear delt fly. My hands, there's no pressure. My thumb is not involved other than just holding that little piece. And what do we want strong deltoid muscles for? To reach up and grab those cans of beans out of the top shelf in our cupboard. We're going to do a few more. Let me see if I can give you a little bit more view. It's all about that scapular retraction. Ooh la la, I feel it. Posterior deltoid. Woo, baby. All right, let's take that down. Now, let me grab the umbrella. Whew, felt that. So if you're feeling it, it's appropriate. It's got to be acceptable, tolerable, all right? Legs, hips width apart. Here we go, deadlifts. Inhale, exhale. You need it tiny, keep it tiny. You need to avoid it, do squats instead, that's fine. You'll still be doing a functional compound movement, and that's what I'm looking for. Inhale, exhale up, inhale, exhale. Let's go for two more. One more. And now grab your band. All right, here we go. I like supersetting, Amy, because you can get a lot done in a shorter period of time. Plus, I just like the idea of working opposing muscle groups. One thing can't tire out too much, right?
Yeah, I really like the way you designed this.
Oh, good. Thanks. So here we go. Shoulders down. Don't let this happen, right? So it's called a posterior or a rear delt fly. Let's go for two more. And relax it down. Now, I'm going to set the band down, grab the umbrella, but I'm going to come back to the front here because the next two exercises or body parts are upper body parts. We have the tricep and the bicep. So what do we use the tricep for in life, right? Well, I mean, actually, let's keep this off. Actually, the movement that you do, let's say a sport that a lot of people get involved with is swimming. So this is all extension, whether it be forward or back, you're extending from the elbow, that's tricep. Involved in the pushing of that baby carriage, involved in the pushing of that stroller, of the shopping cart, and also of you're pushing that door open. The tricep is all involved with that. The other thing, and I often use this, is the demonstration of vacuum cleaning. So, because when I go forward, now that's really tricep, front delt, and chest, just like that chest press is, all right? So here's tricep. I pull it back. Here's bicep and back. What else do we use the bicep for? When you carry your heavy groceries. I want to see, I'm going to set this down for a second. I want to see your bags over your forearms, and then bend those elbows and tighten up and bring them in to help you support your groceries. I don't want you walking like this because I see an awful lot of that, right? And of course, when you do that vacuum cleaning, but when maybe you pick up that beautiful grandchild, or maybe your non-human animal companion, right? And just, oh, you're cuddling up. That's bicep involvement along with the back. So now we're going to use the umbrella as if it's a barbell. That's kind of what I'm pretending here. And we're going to put it behind us, and we're going to do a bent over tricep kickback. But the same medical disclaimer with those of you with postural deviations or osteoporosis, it can be done upright. So we take the umbrella behind us. We take an underhand grip first. We're going to bend over, belly button in. We don't want the elbows to drop here. We want them in because we're working towards scapular retraction. Here we go. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Working the back of that upper arm. Oh, I feel this. Good. Take it out. Now, of course, you can be upright. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And relax. I want to teach you a different way now of working the biceps. So I'm going to take an overhand grip, elbows in, and I'm going to do a reverse bicep curl. Because I'm tying in forearms. Now, if you have a heavier weight, you can do it in this position. Just experiment with a reverse bicep curl, or you can do a basic bicep curl. Up to you.
And you wouldn't want to be swinging your hips forward while you're doing that, right?
Right. And you also wouldn't want to be swinging your elbows forward and back either.
So that it would be too heavy if you were swinging your hips.
That's right. And oftentimes, if you'll see people, I'm going to do it with a lightweight. You'll see people thrust like this, and they're coming from momentum when they do this, because the elbow is in alignment alongside of them. And they're also coming from back, trying to heave a heavier weight. It absolutely has nothing to do with the bicep when you do that. All right, now let's bring it behind you again. This time I'm going to take the hands with an underhand grip. Elbows in, belly button in. I'm going to just a little bit of a hinge, and exhale. Exhale. And again, if you have osteoporosis or postural deviations, stay upright. Now, when you're upright and you do this, make sure this doesn't happen. Forward head projection. You're not going to get any further by doing that. We're going to go for 2 more. Last one. Roll it on up. Reverse your bicep curl. Elbow points down toward the floor in both directions. If the elbow is shifting around, it's improper form. Basically what I'm doing, Amy, is I'm hugging my outer upper ribs with my inner upper arms, because the elbow is a hinge joint. 2 more. Uno más. And down. And now it's cool down time. So let's put those lights back on. And basically, I'm just going to do what we did in the beginning. Go over the spine movements again for the cool down.
And this is important too. Don't skip the cool down. This is a good.
That's right. It's very important. That's right, because your heart rate could be elevated. We want to get that back down. Important point for those of us who are in the aging process, 95 and below is we want to get that resting heart rate back down to post-exercise, all right? If it's not down, you want to do some walking around, what have you, or this. So soften up the knees, hands on the thighs. We come into that lovely little back extension. Let me tell you, you might have more movement in the spine now that you worked out. And then exhale, round. Lastly, lowering the head for spinal flexion. Inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, spinal flexion. One more of each. Inhale and exhale. I want you to hold here, kind of luxuriate in it. The more you pull under, oh man, the more that stretches out. It's a lovely experience. And then take your time slowly rolling up, inhaling head to the top of the movement so you can offset any orthostatic hypotension, which is a rapid plunge of the blood pressure when you stand on up. Now let's go a little bit deeper into that back extension, feet mat width. And I'm just going to face forward for you. Hands onto the sacrum, fingers point toward the floor. Soften up the knees, and we start to just encourage that sacrum to slide down toward the heels. It doesn't slide down, it's just an image. And then roll open the shoulders. And if you're not hypertensive or have vertigo, and then you feel free, you could drop your head back or not. You don't have to if it bothers your neck. Just hold here. And then inhale, start to contract your quadriceps to stand up. Exhale, inhale. The moment that head comes to neutral is the moment the blood rush goes to the thyroid gland, excellent for hypo or hyperthyroid.
Can you turn sideways and just show us, or turn around so we can just see where your hand placement was? Okay.
Here's the sacrum, flat triangular plate, low back. All right? Now we're going to take it into lateral flexion. Take it a little bit differently than we did before. We're doing one arm at a time here. Now, what if you have a shoulder issue? Just stay where that is and go a little shy of it and keep the elbow straight. No matter where it's placed, the elbow is straight. My top hand, the back hand is turning toward the white curtain behind me. Well, I just got a spinal adjustment, Amy. Hips forward, torso back. It's lovely. Inhale, turn palm up, grab a hook, belly button in. Exhale, push down into the right foot. Come back to center. Take it over to the other side, slouching. I'm sliding down, sternum towards ceiling. Arm up and over. Take your time. Hips forward, torso back. We don't want to be kind of like this because sometimes I see people doing that. You can straighten both knees or not. Top hand turning back toward the curtain behind me. And inhale, grab a hook. That's your lateral flexion. Exhale, push into your left heel to come back to center. And then finally, rotation of the vertebral column. Again, be aware of your circumstance in space. And remember that back heel is lifting. Ankle, knee, hip going in the same direction as my gaze. You can make it as fast or as slow as you want, as narrow or as wide as you can handle. And then I start to slow it down. And that's it. Well, that's what I've got for you today, Amy.
Oh, that was wonderful. You guys go ahead and take your right hand and grab your left shoulder, and take your left hand and grab your right shoulder. Now squeeze. And that's a hug from me to you. And please join us when I'm going to be signing off with Angela. She's going to be doing my tagline. And go ahead and type it in the comments below. Type in the Be Strong, Be Well, and Be Green. Are you ready, Angela?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Until I see you guys again, remember, be strong, be well, and be green. Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye,
Amy.
Angela. Thank you.
Now you can listen to Be Green with Amy expert interviews wherever you go. Listen while walking, meal prepping, or traveling. Find Be Green with Amy on Apple, Google, Alexa, Amazon, or virtually anywhere you find podcasts. Be strong, be well, and be green with Be Green with Amy.